What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of the beginner series. Today, we're going to be doing a rune guide, looking at runes, how to know when to power them up and when to throw them away, stuff like this. Very simple today. We are still just under level 50, so we're not just ready to start building our solo R5 teams. To be honest, we could have started already building them and farming it already, but I'm going to take a day or so just to get up to that level, just because we unlock the next set of towers. So as you can see here, we've been farming a lot. We've got about 600 runes to go through and power up. The first thing that you guys can do is get rid of any low quality rune. So anything below 5-star that isn't legend rune. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to go through here, select multiple runes, and we're going to click everything that isn't fight or will. So you're going to want to keep your will ones, and you're going to want to keep your fight ones and your intangible ones, actually. We're going to go through each slot and start selling some of these low-level runes because we just don't need them anymore. They're not going to be relevant ever, so you can just go through and sell them. Once we get up to the blue 6-star runes, this is where we're going to stop. We'll go through each of these individually to see if there's any we want to keep. Let's first have a look at some of our energy runes that we've collected. So this rune here, we can definitely see how it goes. We're going to power it up to 6. And it rolled a double HP roll. Honestly, this could potentially be usable, so we're just going to leave it there for now. We might be using this in our solo R5 teams. It's just a filler rune. We'll see how it goes. But at the start of the game, you are going to want to keep some of these more efficient blue runes. But after you build your solo R5 team, this is when you start moving on to purple and higher runes anyway. So just for now, you're going to do this. For this rune, we're looking for crit damage or attack percent rolls. This could be an offset rune for a damage dealer, for example, Naomi, who doesn't really need any crit rate. We powered this rune up to 9, and unfortunately, it's trash, so we're just going to sell it. As you can see, this rune is pretty much a blue rune. We're not looking for blue rune quality. We're looking for triple rolls into good stats, so we are going to sell this rune. Crit rate is a very desired stat on slots 1 and 3. You could potentially keep this rune and use it until you get a slightly better one, but I don't want to like clutter up my rune box too much, so I am going to sell this. I know we're at the beginning of the game and we have so many slots, but I don't need this rune. I'll probably find something better anyway. Ooh. Just look at that, guys. Right when I was saying we'll probably get something better, the next one we roll, we get a 23 crit rate with a crit damage roll. This is such a good rune for some form of damage dealer. We would get rid of the resistance with the grind, and we put attack percent on it, and this is done. For legendary runes, especially if they have speed, I honestly just take them straight to plus 12. But if you are trying to save some of your mana crystals, feel free to take them to plus 6 or plus 9 to see if they roll into any desirable stats. If not, you could just sell them then. This rune is definitely keepable. It rolled into 3 desirable stats. It was a little bit of a low roll, but all good. This one is okay. I'm going to keep this one for early game, but this is a rune you most likely won't keep after the first couple of weeks. Speed slot 2 runes are pretty hard to chase in the early game, so you definitely can keep some of these poorer ones just until you get some better ones later on in the mid game. This is a perfectly good rune. We got, like, there was only desirable stats on this rune anyway, but they also rolled pretty well. So we're going to take this one to 12 and just leave it back in the bank. Even a max accuracy roll. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Moving on to slot 3. Let's see if we get some luck. I'm just going to start powering these straight up to 9. 25 accuracy. Okay. For runes like this, I kind of like to keep a couple in the early game, only if they roll like HP or defense percent in the last one. This one didn't. Honestly, I'm probably just going to get rid of it. I don't think we'll ever really need this one. So some of the runes, so slot 4, slot 6, if you have stuff specifically like HP percent with speed, crit damage with crit rate, stuff like this, you are actually going to look for a double roll regardless of the set. Obviously, later on in the game, you're going to look for specific 4-piece and 2-piece sets. But early on in the game, we don't have that luxury, so I am going to power up a rune like this just to see if it rolls double crit rate. Now it didn't, so I'm just going to sell it. Same with this one. This one just has to roll well. We don't actually need this to have insane stats. We're just looking for it to roll high, and it rolled a double speed. Perfect. We're actually going to take that one straight to 15. So just keep in mind, you can get flat stats on 2, 4, and 6. Unless they have speed, there's really no reason to roll them. This one here does not have a speed roll, so we're just going to sell it. This one has speed, just like we're talking before. You can roll those that have some speed. But if it doesn't roll speed, you just sell it. So this didn't double roll speed. We're not going to be able to go for the triple. Goodbye. We're looking only for double HP percent. Res in the early game is a very useless stat. Later on, you might be able to keep a res roll. But for now, we're only looking for double HP percent. Once again, just going to sell it. We are going to keep this rune here. There currently is an event going on where you can get some reappraisals for every rune set. As you can see, this rune has crit damage in the innate. Not the best innate stat. However, because we don't have many legend runes right now that actually have innate stats, we are going to just put this in one of these lines, and we're just going to call this one reaps, okay? Okay, so this rune we can roll for speed or accuracy. The crit damage is not that bad, but we're looking for another speed roll now. We actually got a speed roll, so we're going to take this to 12. All right, we're moving on to Swift now. Swift is the speed chasing set. However, you can look for damage stats on slot 1 and 3 in particular. We only got 1 speed roll, so I am just going to sell it. This rune can roll double speed or double crit rate. I don't like keeping these runes if they roll 1 and 1 into each stat. I do think it's fine though if they roll double into one stat. Now, unfortunately, this is only a 15 crit rate. I would have probably kept this if it was maybe 17 or 18. 15 is just a little too low, so I am going to sell this. We're going to keep this rune here. It's got a decently okay roll into every stat. We're going to take it up to 12. I feel like R5 is like the big like catalyst for when you don't have to really care about beginner runes anymore. If you can farm R5, there's not really any harder content that you're building teams for. We're going to keep some runes on slot 1 and 3 that have accuracy, because we might need to just slightly get to the caps. So I am going to keep 1, 3 with accuracy rolls. You can keep 2 and 6 as well, but in all honesty, I doubt we're going to get any on 2 and 6. For some reason, it always feels hard to roll accuracy on those slots. Once we build our R5 teams, guys, we're going to set up our rune exclusion settings. And what that means is we're going to sell any runes that aren't worth rolling. And then that way you can know whether we would roll this rune or not. So like this one is actually keepable for early game, but post R5, we would never keep something like this. Okay, this is fine as long as it just doesn't roll flat. This is a great rune. I forgot to tell you guys, I did roll this before stream. I totally forgot about this bad boy. For crit damage runes, you pretty much are only looking for attack percent and crit rate in the substats. This one has it in the hidden stat. So you're never going to really use these runes. You can just go ahead and just sell them straight away. When it comes to slot 4 and slot 6, you do have to keep inefficient runes early on, as these are sometimes the hardest runes to pick up with a specific main stat. So I am going to keep this rune. I'm not going to sell it. I might need it for my solo R5 teams. This one we could put in the re-up list. Yeah, I guess that one we just keep on the account for a later date. This one is a re-up too. Wow, we actually got some okay runes in our first set of runs. So we'll have to re-up that one at a later date. Come on, HP percent. 23 HP, come on. Oh, baby. Oh, you've got the defense percent roll. Good rune. But yeah, the 3 stats you're mostly looking for on slot 5 are crit damage, speed, and HP percent in the early game. So like I would definitely roll this for a 17. 16, we don't have many speed runes. We're going to take this to 12 and just put it in the bank. So there's an event going on right now that gives us like some free apps for Swift and like for like a ton of different sets. So you might end up re-apping something like that. This is a really good rune for early game, by the way. It's not great. Like I would sell this past early game, but for early game, fantastic rune because all we're looking for is stats. Triple? Oh, we got a triple. So for example, past mid game, this is 100% a sell rune. But early game, you keep these runes. This is where you can consider rolling some blue runes. We have an attack percent main with crit rate as a substat. If this rolls double crit rate, this is a very, very good early game damage dealer rune. Speed crit rate, come on. Oh, 23? Juice us. Oh, baby, that's such a good rune. What a great rune to get early on. So for this rune here, you would get rid of the resistance for crit damage and you would grind it out. And this is a great early game damage dealer rune because now we're getting to the point where our rune sets are going to hit 100 crit rate, so we're always going to have standard damage output, which is super important for dungeon teams and stuff like that. In the early game, if you ever get a defense percent rune on slot 2, 4, and 6, you are going to roll these for a double flat defense roll, as this is going to be used for your Icaru. We're only ever going to be building one Icaru, as the Tricaru is unfortunately dead, but you do want to roll these runes just in case you do have them. We've got a double crit damage rune. We needed some of these. Oh, this is a good rune. Good rune. Okay, this one is a re-up target because it has an innate. This is my favorite re-up target. Anything with accuracy innate with 8 is a really, really good target for your main sets. This is actually not a terrible rune. I don't like it, but we might be able to use it for something. HP, triple HP is actually not bad. I actually will keep a triple HP. This one I'm going to roll for flat defense. Once again, guys, I talked to you about this before. If you get a defense percent rune with flat defense, you do roll these, as this would go onto your Icaru. If we get one more flat defense, then this is great for it. We didn't get the flat defense, but honestly, I'm going to keep this rune as I may not have anything better. Okay, double crit damage roll. We do keep that. It might be the best one for Nemi for all we know. Can we get a 21? Oh, we got another 20 speed. So we actually got like 3 or 4 triple speeds today, which is pretty good. Come on, juice us. Crit rate. Oh, baby. Another crit rate roll. That's good enough, actually. 17 crit rate is pretty good. 23? Can we do it? Oh, 22. Another 22 speed rune. Insane. This one we're just rolling for stats. This is probably the Vertihile rune now that I think about it. This is everything we need on the Vertihile, and then we just put speed over the accuracy. That's a really good rune. Oh, 21 crit rate. Come on, juice us. Ooh, 20 crit rate. Yeah, we've got a good slot 1. And a speed roll to boot. That's a really good rune. Wow, this is our first quad roll on the account. So the reason we keep all intangibles is because they are filler runes for our R5 teams, most likely, just to complete like a fight or will set. So now we've moved on. We're going to start crafting the runes that we've gotten from all of the farming that we've done. Oh, baby. We've now rolled all the runes on this account. Hopefully you've been able to see what kind of stuff we were able to keep and what we were selling. If you do want to go rewatch the live stream to see me going through the large set of everything, feel free to do that. I'll leave a link down in the description. That's going to be all for this one, guys. Peace out.